Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we've got an incredibly important topic to unpack, the newly mandated 2026 Department of Education guidelines. Whether you're a parent or an educator, we're going to explore this roadmap together to see exactly what the months ahead look like for us and our students.
Okay, let's dive into this. The second we step into June, the academic season officially kicks off with the classroom and parent orientation. And listen, this isn't just your standard meet and greet. This is the crucial starting line for the entire year. It's where expectations are set, relationships are built, and the whole community really comes together to ensure our students succeed right from day one. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start off with the new school calendar, exploring the 3 blocks, and the opening block focus. Then we'll shift gears to student welfare and talk about what is bullying, recognizing signs and effects, and finally, why bullying happens. Section 1. The new school calendar. Setting the 10,000-foot view. First off, if you've been feeling any anxiety at all about these schedule changes, let's just take a collective deep breath. The magic number you really need to remember here is 220. Under the new regulations, specifically RA 11480, the school year is legally mandated to consist of no more than 220 class days. It'll start no earlier than June, and it's going to wrap up by August. For the 2026 to 2027 school year, we are specifically looking at a total of 201 class days. But they aren't just thrown onto the calendar randomly. They are carefully divided into a 3-term structure. Basically, Term 1 has 69 days, Term 2 has 65, and Term 3 has 67. Breaking the year into these 3 distinct terms allows for significantly better pacing for the kids, and honestly, it's a strategic move to heavily reduce both teacher and learner burnout. Section 2, exploring the 3 blocks. Structuring the terms. To make these 3 terms actually work, they've introduced a block system that serves as the architectural foundation of the new calendar. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how a term is built chronologically for the student. We start with a 4 to 5 day opening block, but note that this only happens at the very beginning of Term 1. After that, the core of the term is the 61 to 62 day instructional block. Finally, every single term closes out with an 8 to 10 day end of term block. It creates a really natural rhythm: prepare, focus, and wrap up. Let's actually contrast those last 2 blocks, because it's an absolute game changer. The green instructional block, that is fiercely protected time. It's dedicated strictly to teaching and learning with minimal disruptions. But the orange end of term block is a designated period to just pause. It's for computing grades, catching up on remediation, having those important parent-teacher meetings, and, crucially, taking wellness breaks, which is something we know everyone desperately needs by the end of a long term, right? Section 3, the opening block focus, setting the stage. Getting these very first days right literally determines the trajectory of the next 9 months. So the Department of Education isn't leaving the first week up to chance. They've laid out 7 suggested focus areas for the opening block. Instead of just diving headfirst into heavy academics, these first few days are all about building a foundation. We're talking getting to know you activities, setting daily routines, conducting baseline assessments, and really prioritizing social-emotional learning. It's all about creating a sense of safety and belonging right out of the gate. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how intentional the programming gets. Looking at this sample schedule for key stages 2 through 4, look right there at day 3. Right alongside those baseline assessments is a mandatory General Assembly for an anti-bullying campaign. Literally by day 3 of the school year, student welfare and safety are put squarely center stage. Which brings us to a profound and frankly absolutely crucial question that we all need to align on. What exactly is bullying? To truly protect our students, we have to transition our mindset away from administrative schedules and focus entirely on behavioral health. We have to be willing to look at the tough, daily realities that some of our students face. Section 4. What is bullying? Defining the behavior. Look, the very first step to stopping any problem is having a crystal clear shared definition of what that problem actually is. According to the socio-emotional module, bullying is when someone hurts, threatens, or leaves out another person on purpose and does it repeatedly. Pay very close attention to those specific elements. It is intentional, it involves repetition, and it usually happens when one person tries to gain or exert control over someone else. It's not just a random playground conflict, it's a deliberate pattern of behavior. And we really have to remember that this behavior doesn't always look the same. As parents and educators, we've got to be vigilant across 4 distinct categories.
Physical and verbal bullying are usually the easiest to spot, right? Hitting, taking things, or using insulting words. But social bullying, which is excluding someone or spreading rumors, and online bullying, which happens through phones and devices, those can be deeply insidious and stay completely hidden from plain sight. Section 5. Recognizing signs and effects. Protecting student welfare. The hard truth here is that students experiencing this rarely come right out and tell us directly. So what should we be looking for? The module highlights 4 key behavioral indicators. Is a student suddenly avoiding certain places, like the cafeteria or the bus? Have you noticed an unexplained drop in their academic performance? Are their items frequently turning up missing or broken? Or is there just a general, noticeable change in their behavior? Maybe they're becoming withdrawn or easily agitated. Catching these signs and intervening early is absolutely critical. And we intervene early because the internal damage caused by bullying is just profound. It completely strips away a student's confidence. It layers on immense emotional stress, making basic daily life and social situations feel impossible. If these issues go unaddressed, they aren't just temporary feelings. They can solidify into lasting negative changes in a person's behavior and self-worth that stretch way past their school years. Section 6. Why bullying happens. Understanding the root causes. To actually build better mitigation strategies, we kind of have to step back and impartially look at the psychological drivers. So the crucial point is this. Bullying is very rarely just about the victim. Often it's about the aggressor's own environment and internal struggles. People might bully to be noticed and feel important in a social group. They might do it out of deep personal insecurity, using aggression to hide their own fears. They put others down as a misguided attempt to feel stronger about themselves. Understanding this helps us treat the actual root of the problem rather than just reacting to the symptom. Which brings us to the ultimate goal of the calendar's focus on student welfare. Speak up with purpose and inspire change. This newly structured calendar gives us the necessary time, but it is entirely up to us to foster that supportive environment. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. As we head into this new school year, I want to leave you with this thought. If you notice the subtle signs of a student struggling tomorrow, what is the very first step you would take to inspire that change?